Listen, like, okay, first off, he is like NASA's like fucking star child.
Yeah.
Like, a guy who is actually, so fucking smart, yet is willing to say that shit. Because, like, scientifically, what he's saying makes no sense.
How?
What do you mean?
Because, because it's not measurable. Like, you can't measure emotions like that. Okay, I'm
But
not. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I think that I like the guy's like spirit and that, but all I'm saying is his argument is that if we, if we say that if we create some adventure, like some space adventures, it's going to rally the nations to, you know,
I
is
think you're looking at it from the wrong end.
no, no, no,
He's
no. I'm just
he's
saying.
advocating a rebirth of science. If nothing, what he wants most is for, like, he wants more science in culture. And he says that if we had more science in culture, the repercussions would be more positive than anybody realizes. We would, it would be, and then he goes on to say that how that would, reboot our economy, give birth to dreams again. We would all have such wonderful technology if only there were more science going on.
Yeah, I know, but all I'm saying is that that's an experiment that you can't.
Afford to
I mean,
make? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm not saying that. Like, I like him,
There-
and I like the ideas. I'm just saying it's funny to hear a scientist talk about, like, to talk so big, because like there's not a lot of people like him out there.
I
And
think
I'm just saying I don't think it's measurable, and I don't think it's a guarantee. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
but it's not. Oh,
one of the
sorry.
best options. I think it's one of the best unused options at the moment when it comes to how do we
Like,
reinvigorate
I
our
mean,
culture.
it's a tough argument when someone can't eat and you say, let's go to space.
Yeah, but I mean, I think one of the great powers of people like Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson is they are so scientifically literate and yet such great humanists that they help people connect the dots. And they show people what scientific exploration is good for, how it's not just a whole bunch of people isolated in basements doing experiments that will never touch you. They're talking about how this scientific progress means advancement for everybody.
It
Right?
does mean for everybody, and like the whole like Jet, I know what you're saying.
Yep.
How there's people not eating, and there's money going to NASA. I understand how you're saying that, but again, you have to think of the results that could come
Right.
from doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe like if you like, okay, I
All
know
I'm
as
saying
weird
is,
as this sounds,
if you
like,
were that kid who can't eat,
I'm dying. I don't give a shit. But like, okay,
That's an unfair position.
that
to
is
put.
an unfair position.
Because
here's-
then you could justify cutting money from anything to feed that kid.
right? And I'm saying money should go to that kid.
I think
It shouldn't just go to because
Yeah, but
I
think
agree. I think we need to put money. I think we need to we need to cure the world of poverty.
right.
But that can't. Sometimes that can't be done by giving money to the poor people. Sometimes the best way to do that is to inspire people. And
It's true.
and not only to inspire people, but I mean, like I said, the technologies and understandings that
Yeah.
come out of space exploration, the yield that is produced by scientific exploration is so much greater than the yield that is
Right.
produced by war.
I think
We
that's
got a lot of technology out of World War II, but the difference between technology we got out of the space race and World War II
right.
is exponential.
I think that's
We-
why I see like the commercialization of space as the solution to this.
But it can't. Space travel will never be seriously. It will never be a serious endeavor for corporations. There's no private future in space.
Okay, you know what? This is funny because this sounds exactly like the arts and culture arguments that go on. Like a little bit of spending into arts and culture makes such a big
It does.
impact on society. And no, I agree, it's true. But then here we have, it's the same argument. You've got two different people saying, even a little bit of money will make such a huge difference. So who do you give the money to?
I think you give it to the scientific people. trying to make an actual.
Shadman's got the answer.
Oh.
No. Okay, take this stupid. Okay, take this example for take this as an example. If we can somehow manage to come up with technology, some sort of technology in space to plant a seed and make a plant grow in some other planet, can you not imagine doing the same in the Sahara Desert, for example, and feeding all the people in Africa? Like, just imagine that idea of us being able to do that. That would solve so many problems in the world, and that can come out of this space technology. Where,
That's
maybe...
ridiculous.
How is that ridiculous?
You could also find Jesus in space, and he'll come.
Oh man, you guys see, this is what's missing from you guys.
Religion.
Oh, the hope that we can maybe pull that off, that maybe we can do that. Like, I know Mark
you can
has
say anything. You can say imagine we find Jesus sitting on the moon.
Yeah, but you being so cynical of that is exactly the reason why that's not happening.
But I'm not,
dude.
saying? You know what? You're bitching at the wrong guy, because I would give a portion of my salary to a worthy cause that wanted to travel to space. Like,
I would give a portion of my salary to go to space.
yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't
Like,
invest.
personally, you want
Yeah,
to go to
I
space.
personally I want to go to space. This is purely selfish.
No, but like I'm kind of raising these arguments for just the purpose of like being a downer, really.
No, but like,
Yeah, I'm saying these are arguments that other people come up with. I agree. Like,
no,
I think
sorry,
that,
I just the arts and whatever arguments just like really pissed me off. I apologize. Just because, like, man, as much as I love arts, it's just not the same as science. Like, fuck arts, man. I would give all my money.
I disagree with
Some
you there.
people would say there's an art to science.
You should.
this is what I'm saying. Like with this guy, he kind of dream. I think the guy thinks like an artist might, and like
I think
thinks.
there's a poetry to science.
Yeah.
I think there's. I think if anything, science is one of the most important things, contributions to art. The things that we learn about ourselves as beings in the universe. There's something that I think an even better clip from Neil deGrasse Tyson, maybe his all-time best, is called "The Most Astounding Fact." Maybe we could just play it. I don't know. But anyways, he describes how the top 5 elements in the universe, in order, are like carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. I forget the other 2, but they're the exact same most common elements in our bodies as human. And in that way, everybody is part of the universe. I think there's something really beautiful about that, and it's something that religion has deprived us of. I really love. I think science is one of the most important influences in the arts. People have been writing poetry about the mysteries of nature and the mysteries of the human chemistry, how we relate to each other. And those are the kinds of things that science isn't it's not turning a cold objective light onto it or demystifying it in any way. It's filling us in with these amazing details. I think that's so important.
I don't know what to think anymore.
I think funding for arts and culture is a hugely important endeavor.
Yeah.
It's so much more important than defense budgets, but the United States spends more on its defense budget than every other country in the world combined. And for what? If they took half of that and spent it on NASA and on the arts and culture, imagine how vibrant society would be.
Yeah, but singling out, every other country is just as fucking crazy as.
I like the
US.
idea of Jesus being in space.
Space Jesus.
Space Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you guys were right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Not
Maybe
you guys were right. Specifically, the Mormons were right.
Yeah, because then we'd have to come back down. We'd have to bring him back down to Earth and be like, fuck, okay, so let's build some more churches. Like, what? Like that would suck.
Yeah, I guess if you see Jesus in space, you just keep going.
I think we're at that point in our society where we might just keep going. But yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Jed. Is this the extended cut of our podcast?
They'll probably make it. I like.
Can you please just put the Mass Effect? Well,
Oh,
like
that
Jordan's
was yeah. That was
Jordan's last speech. Put the Mass Effect music underneath Jordan's speech about arts and culture. Oh shit. Or actually, no, the entire extended cut. Just put the song underneath.